Winter is coming and the game has changed. No crop farming, no truffles as animals can't go outside, and trees do not grow, meaning we'll have a shortage of wood. As we are coming towards the end of our first year, let's see how much progress can I make during the winter season in Stardew Valley. As we left our farmhouse, a shadowy figure spots us and then runs away. After some investigating, I found some footprints near the community centre and bam! We caught it in the bushes. We got the magnifying glass as a reward, allowing us to find secret notes which can lead to hidden treasure locations. We completed the winter foraging bundle in the community centre, earning us 30 winter seeds which we planted. As there are no crops that grow during winter, the only thing we can grow are forageables. The best way is to use winter seeds by combining the 4 forageables: crocus, crystal fruit, snow yam, and winter root. The only real way to farm any sort of crops is by using the greenhouse, and unfortunately, we're unable to complete the quality crops bundle, so I guess we're gonna have to take that L. Day 3 is the day that I decided to catch winter's legendary fish, the glacier fish. I'll have a video going into the legendary fish in detail, but long story short, you need to stand on this exact tile if you want to catch the glacier fish. This fish can be a pain to catch, so I bought a cork bobber from Willy, which increases the size of the fishing bar. We were able to catch it at around 5:30 PM. As we are in our final month, I realised that I didn't spend enough time working on my friendship with the townspeople. This includes giving a beer to Pam and Shane, a spaghetti to Robin, forageables to Linus. Additionally, from day 6, I started giving solar or void essences to the wizard. On day 7, Pierre is here to remind us that our first year in Stardew is almost finished, and from next year, he'll be selling different seed varieties. We went over to Marnie's and found Shane on the floor passed out next to some alcohol bottles, a clear addiction that affects both Marnie and his sister Jazz. Anyway, these hearts aren't going to fill up by themselves, so we gave Shane a beer on that exact same day. Gunther makes a rare appearance on our farm. The museum received the Golden Shovel Award from the Regional Secretary of Artifacts. This dialogue happens after you donate 50 or more artifacts to the museum, giving us the key that unlocks the sewer Jazz and Vincent discovered back in spring. We went over to Cindersap Forest for the Festival of Ice, which features the ice fishing contest against Pam, Willy, and Elliot. We ended up catching 6 fishes and ended up as the winner, earning some tackles and a drippy new sailor hat. It is also important to mention that talking with the townspeople provides a slight increase in friendship with them. I discovered this when I talked to Pam and got the achievement, A New Friend, for achieving 5 hearts of friendship with someone. Who would have thought that our best friend is the lady that works for the JojaMart Corporation? I realised that all of our legendary fish are just chilling in a chest, so it's time to give them a decent place to live. I went over to Willy's and bought a large fish tank. I plonked it down in the sleeping area of my house and I put in the crimson fish, the angler, and the glacier fish, along with some coral and rocks to spice the place up. I used the key and went down to the sewers to see what creatures lurk there. Luckily, it was a friendly guy called Krobus, the merchant of rare and exotic goods. It turns out that they have some really powerful stuff, such as a star drop, and a return scepter, which allows you to instantly return home. Pretty cool, but it's safe to say I'm too broke for Krobus. There is a room to the side, but it seems a powerful force field was preventing me from entering. Maybe next time. I returned to the sewers with the aim of catching the mutant carp, another legendary fish. After only 2 hours of fishing, we managed to catch it, and just like that, another legendary was added to the collection. I went to Robin to buy the remaining wood I needed to complete the construction bundle. This completes the crafts room in the community centre, and we got a charcoal kiln. It sucks that it requires wood to run though. And just like that, the crafts room is returned to its former glory, and another star has been added to the wall. I went to Marlin from the Adventurers Guild and bought a ruby ring, which increases attack by 10%, since we don't have much use of the magnet ring, and we have the glowstone ring anyway. The next day, we got a fancy looking letter from the wizard, requesting us for a void essence. I checked up on Krobus and bought a void essence from them, and then gifted it to the wizard. 1000 gold was the reward. It could be worse. I wanted to get our lovely new mutant carp a new home, but I noticed that you can only store 3 fish in a large tank, so I went to Willy's and bought another one. I went back to the crib and plonked down the second fish tank and placed the mutant carp inside. We donated another artifact and got a fancy crystal chair from Gunther. Safe to say he's treating me right. I checked out the quarry as a result of repairing the bridge from completing the crafts room. I cut down all the trees to get as much wood as possible. We got a couple of secret notes from foraging and mining, but due to my minuscule IQ, I was only able to solve one of them. At least we got a strange doll. Day 15 is the first day of the night market. For more detail, check out my festivals and events guide. I bought a painting from Lumpini, as all of the paintings rotate over 3 years, so it's best not to miss out. We went down into the submarine and caught some cool looking fish, the important one being the blobfish. I got plans for this little one. Demetrius and Robin get into a little disagreement about whether a tomato is a fruit or a vegetable. Of course the correct answer is fruit, but Demetrius somehow managed to turn this into a deep conversation about Robin not understanding his point of view. I mean, it worked, so whatever makes them happy. I got some seasonal plants from the night market and made my house even more cluttered. Throughout the night of day 16 and 17, I was fishing for some more blobfish, as they're exclusive to the night market. Another profitable and useful fish is the lava eel. It appears on the 100th floor of the mines. Unfortunately, luck was not on our side. Instead, I got an accurate representation of the quality of my videos. I previously said that I will be doing something with our little blobfish, and that is placing it into a fish pond. Thankfully, it doesn't require any wood, although some parts seem a little too wooden if you ask me. A fish pond produces roe. Depending on what fish you put in, will depend on the quality and type of roe that is made. You cannot put any of the legendary fish because that just would be too overpowered. The reason we chose a blobfish is because it produces the most valuable roe, especially when you age it through a preserve jar and have the artisan profession perk, giving you 1000 profit per roe. It also helps that there's a 50% probability that you can get 2 roes with the blobfish, starting at a population of 6. I'll leave a link in the description to a post that has calculated this. I wanted to change the sorting system of storing all of our items due to how cluttered our shed was. I've seen abandoned homes look cleaner than this. I decided to place the chest on the right side of our farm, as it provides easier access to the chests. Also, our shed looks much cleaner, and we can use it to continue storing kegs, preserve jars, and other helpful items. We threw our little blobfish into the pond and purchased the 10,000 and 25,000 gold bundles, repairing the vault room in tip-top condition and giving us a massive reward, the repairing of the bus. So now Pam will be able to drive us to the desert, giving us access to new people, and most importantly, the Skull Caverns. Another reward we received is the Crystallarium, a really powerful machine that allows us to duplicate any gem that we want. I placed it in the shelter and placed a diamond as it makes us the most gold per day. After some renovating, I moved the fish pond to a better location. Overall, I am really happy with the transition our farm went through, from a couple of crops in that cluttered farm back in spring to a more civilized and organized one. We took a quick trip to the newly discovered desert and met Sandy, a merchant who has some really good crops such as rhubarb seeds, which are on par with strawberries as a spring crop, and starfruit seeds, the best summer crop. On day 18, we got a letter from Lewis saying that the Feast of the Winter Stars will be taking place on day 25. Our gift recipient was Clint, so when the event took place, I gave him a diamond. Leah was our gift giver, and we received a blackberry cobbler, which is a pretty good dish, so thanks. And we got our first fish pond quest. The blobfish asked us to give them 2 frozen tears. Luckily, we have a decent supply of tears, increasing the capacity to 3. Throughout the entire month, I was visiting my animals, and here is a progress check on them. For our coop, I began the process of replacing our regular chickens with void chickens, as void mayonnaise is more valuable. So we ended up with 6 void chickens, 2 regular chickens, a duck, and a rabbit. As for our barn, we mainly stuck with cows as they are reliable, along with 1 sheep and a pig. We made a lot of progress, but we haven't completed the game just yet, so I hope you'll follow me in my next video where I'll be taking on the powerful and unforgiving Skull Caverns.